You know, I was never really the biggest fan of Black Clover. Like, I enjoyed watching it, sure, but not enough to dig any deeper into the series or lore. I've noticed a lot of people felt the same, which made me think, how can a series that was once considered one of the best new-gen manga coming out at the time suddenly lose its anime with seemingly no return in sight? Other than that Netflix movie, of course, that should be dropping around, let's see, today. Wow. Great marketing as always, guys. Good job. Anyway, in today's video, I want to talk about why Black Clover is 1, absolute heat, and 2, how it was absolutely sabotaged by its very own studio. This thing could have been on the level of Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer. Well, like season 1 and 2 of Demon Slayer, not so much season 3. I know everybody's feeling some type of way about that, even though personally I thought it was fine. But anyway, let's talk about how Black Clover could have been the best new gen anime. Now, before we get into the video, you guys showed absolute love on that last video, which was about Hobie from Across the Spider-Verse. If you haven't seen it already, check it out. Thank you guys so much. We are blown away by the support, and hopefully we could keep making heat for you. Speaking of heat, created by Yuki Tabata, Black Clover is a series that needs no introduction, but your baby boy needs that watch time up, so let's do a quick rundown. In a world ruled by magic, local orphan boys Asta and Yuno want to be the Wizard King. Think a president, but like sick as fuck. Asta, however, can't do magic, which is obviously a bit of a problem when you want to be the Wizard King. Like, it's kind of in the name. He goes through his little gym arc and gets his weight up, whereas Yuno, the other main character, not only gets to look like the prettiest boy this side of Timothy Chalamet, but also gets chosen by pretty much the most OP main character power in the series. Like, I'm almost convinced he was supposed to be the main character, but we got stuck with the rival instead. We watch as they both grow and become stronger together. They both use each other to inspire and push themselves further down their own paths, and it's honestly really nice and refreshing to see this relationship instead of the whole Naruto and Sasuke, will they, won't they, like, God, just kiss. Just kiss. There's a lot of twists, witches, elves, devils, fucking, I don't know, a 3D demon diamond magic megazord moving at a whopping 6 frames per second. Yeah, it could be a tough watch at times. Now, I know this sounds pretty basic, and honestly, it all is. And I think that was mainly the draw to it. Much like Demon Slayer, it's just your average, but well-refined shonen story about a character overcoming multiple obstacles to eventually achieve their goals, and, you know, this textbook shonen anime stuff like we always cover. Black Clover, however, has a world much closer to something like One Piece, albeit obviously a lot smaller in scale. With multiple countries, races, world governments, it's honestly kind of insane. The art done by Tabata is stellar as well. I'd even say a cut above other shonen series out right now. The detail work is otherworldly, and the manga always looks fantastic, which makes the garbage-ass anime hurt all the more. But I digress, we'll be getting into that in a bit. So, okay, all of this explains why it got an anime at least, right? A really solid foundation with a world that could continue to grow and entertain the masses and blah blah blah, be the strongest. This is like primetime stuff, and it certainly made waves for anime fans. It quickly blew up and found an audience, so why isn't the show still around? Well, it has nothing to do with the people working on the show or the success of it all, and really everything to do with the series getting completely shafted by its very own studio. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, it's pretty well documented that Studio Perio, the people who produced the Black Clover anime, famously did not give a shit about production of the show past, I'll say, like, the first 2 episodes, and oh, it shows. Quickly, the show devolved into damn near picture books at times, and honestly, it probably would have benefited us if it were picture books, because god damn, they were severely understaffed and given rookie animators. The show was sabotaged by the studio from the start, and this was because Studio Perio had other shows at the time, like Boruto, which were seen as much more lucrative. That's right, they treated Black Clover like the lesser sibling and gave all the love to Boruto. Boruto. The director of the series himself had to animate majority of the important scenes with friends and peers, and even a lot of work on the openings and endings, which all slap, by the way. And that's not the point. That is insane. No director should have to do that much work. This show had the makings of an absolute shonen classic. In doing research for this very video, I read all of the manga and watched a bunch of videos on YouTube about the world of Black Clover just because it was that fun and interesting. Here I was, immersed in a brand new world with characters I've learned to love and root for, with powers and fights that lit me up like a kid. I mean, I was genuinely happy. I felt like a child watching Dragon Ball Z all over again. It was insane. I was seeing a character who not only had nothing handed to him, but one who was also actively being held down by the world. Yet despite that, he kept a smile on his face and got stronger. Asta is a boy who will do whatever it takes to gain strength. And on that point, let's elaborate on our beautiful baby boy just for a second. Asta is that dude. He is that guy. Not only is he your average, lighthearted, always trying their best Octobio head-ass anime character, but he also pulls. I'm talking the royalty, I'm talking the Commonwealth, I'm talking the children of God. If it has eyes and good taste, they probably want my boy. He hates the AM, hates the PM, but more importantly, you get what I'm saying though, right? Asta is seriously such a fun protagonist. Hearing him scream constantly is rough in the anime, but in the manga it's a lot more comedic and a lot less jarring, mainly because you don't have to hear the bitch, but you know. It is how it is. Honestly, he has quickly risen up. That's my guy. That's my guy. He's quickly reached the top of my main character ranking because I just think he's that fun. And all of this from a series that I had such a lukewarm relationship with. The anime actively kept me from diving into this world that I now feel so embedded in by having piss poor pacing at times and also looking like the animation was done by AI with a learning disability. Yet the manga was so good that when I caught up to the current chapter, I became physically depressed. Although it really doesn't take a lot for me to get there, but you know, still, it was just that fun and easy to read. I'm gushing, but it's like, how can I not? I believe every story can offer something to people. Good or bad, we can learn something. But when a story is just considered average, you tend to lose those stories. As I mentioned before, the anime was fine. I enjoyed watching it, and I definitely thought it had earned its popularity, but it just didn't stand up to its peers for me. In hindsight, I could not have been more wrong. I can safely say now that I am all caught up with the manga that this series is one of the best I have read. Expertly told moments, incredibly illustrated, and a world that's lore goes so deep it's confusing at times. This series deserves better. You know, this all brings me back to years ago. There was this incredible manga I had read back in high school in Shonen Jump called Hungry Joker. It was honestly super cool, awesome art, great fights, and it had a pretty interesting power system. It seemed like it was really popular, but I guess just like Black Clover's anime, it kind of faded. People knew it was good, but it wasn't really anyone's favorite from what I remembered. And even though people respected it, I don't think many people read it. I always thought it was pretty cool though. Stories like this make me sad because I would have loved to see more. Who knows how big it could have gotten if people gave it a chance. It's honestly kind of just a shame. I guess we'll never really know. Actually, you know, I do wonder what that author is up to these days. I don't really remember his name, but let's, Hungry Joker. Not such a bad ending after all, huh? So watch Black Clover, give it its roses, because Yuki Tabata has proven time and time again he deserves to be remembered as one of the best to ever do it. The movie is out on Netflix, and we can really show this studio just how much more we want if we support the drop. It looks fun and can bring a great series back, so I'll hope you'll at least consider it. To summarize my thoughts, I think Asta is the perfect main character for a shonen in the position of Black Clover. Because like Asta, the series has everything against it. And just like Asta, well, I'll let him finish the rest.
My magic is never giving up!
Thanks for watching.